So it's Ben James doing a photo shoot in July 2013 over at Mount Edgcumbe.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for in the way of taking pictures, Ben?
Something different, to be honest, something that people wouldn't really catch with the naked eye.
Uh-huh.
So it's just making what people think looks boring interesting.
Yes.
And a different perspective of it, different angles.
So would you say that photography has made you see the world differently?
Yeah, totally. Before I used to do photography, I wouldn't look at a flower without like thinking it was boring or it's not interesting. But now it's, I just like find it like a lot more interesting. I do a lot of macro.
Yes.
So then when I'm taking a photo of a flower, I see right inside. I see like inside every tiny petal, everything. So every detail is a lot clearer, and it's a sense of satisfaction that when people see my work, they see how a flower like really is.
Yeah.
You know.
So how long have you been shooting macro?
Well, I've been doing it for like a couple of months, but I never really got into it until like a couple of weeks ago, actually, when I started like taking photos of like bugs and stuff and getting really close up. And the detail you see in a bee or a butterfly or a ladybird is amazing when you're using something like that can get so close.
Yeah.
Which people don't usually see.
So what camera are you shooting on at the moment?
At the moment I've got a Fuji HS10.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It does the job, but obviously looking to progress in something a little bit better.
So you've had this one for
about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Ish, yeah.
What sort of camera would you like?
Well, the camera I want is a Nikon D3100.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. It's a beginner DSLR, so because obviously this is a bridge camera, and I've never used a digital DSLR, so it's a beginner, so it tells you the things to do, so that'd be perfect. And then obviously when I'm more comfortable with a DSLR like later years, then I'll progress to getting something a little bit more professional. So, yeah.
What sort of sizes can you blow the image up from on this camera?
I'm not entirely sure. I've never...
Probably to about 10.8 or something like that.
Yeah, probably. I've never really done much bigger than standard size, so...
Yeah. So what would you photograph in here, in this building? You just photograph the light?
Yeah, and lights as well. I like to photograph stuff that tells history, that tells some inkling of what it was used for.
Yeah.
So obviously they've been standing here for Second World War, so...
Yeah, the building has, but the graffiti changes every year.
Yeah.
You never see anybody in here doing the art, but every time I come it's a different form of art in here.
Yeah.
Different art in here. Seen this logo here, Ben? Days like this I want to give up work in Asda. So we come. So we come into another derelict building at Edgcumbe. This one's even more strange, isn't it? There's pipes everywhere.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like the pipes lead to through these concrete bits. So
it's definitely a Second World War building, but whether it's a fuel munitions dump or what, we're not quite sure. Because there's so many bits and pieces to it, and you know, it's hard to put into any sort of order.
it's like the pipes lead. I reckon there's pipes down there.
Yeah.
On that wall. They must cross over to these.
They're at a different height level, so they must have dropped. So we're not too far from the sea here, but these pipes are going in the opposite direction to the coast, aren't they, at the moment? In one area they are anyway. And the roof is made of asbestos as well. That's probably why they haven't pulled it down.
Probably.
In the wall again?
Yeah.
Okay, just walk around a minute then.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going into the dark, and that's all right there. Trouble is, there's very, very strong daylight in some areas, and then you're going into the shadow, and it's hard for this camera to cope with it.
Right.
Cool. Just a minute, they cut through here.
Yeah, they've just cut straight through.
Yeah. It's an interesting building. It must have been a tank. So this was probably the fuel tank during the Second World War that had all those outlets that we saw in the other building. But you're going to do some research on this.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little look about. I'll Google map it first because from like an aerial point of view, you can see where it's based, so where it would be nearest to and the most convenience. And by that, like doing that way, you can tell what it would exactly be used for.
Yeah.
But there's no living quarters, so it has to be like for fuel or some of that purpose only. There's no other buildings, from what I can see, that they would be living here. So it's probably isn't there like a town or something around here?
Yeah.
It's probably then walking lived there and like worked here.
Or came over from Devonport.
Yeah, or could have done that. Yeah.
Because it's obviously a military setting. Okay.
As you can like clearly see the grooves.
Yeah.
In the stone, which they look like the same sort of grooves in the building, which would be pipes.
Yeah.
So they've obviously come across there. So they must have been going out to sea.
So it must have been something to do with the Navy during the Second World War.
Yeah,
and supplying the ships, probably.
Yeah.
Without,
fuel depot.
as not considering we haven't researched it and going off the cuff, it's probably the most obvious explanation. Do you want to drop down and have a look, Ben?
Yeah, if we can. So they don't slip and tie.
Or break my camera.
Yeah, I'll break mine.
Like the sound effects, Ben. I like the sound effects.
Yeah.
It's low tide.
Lovely, isn't it?
Beautiful, isn't it? It's like Devon here today.
Yeah.
Or is it heaven?
Bit of both.
It's like being in the Mediterranean, isn't it? When you get weather like this. We've waited about 4 or 5 years to get this sort of summer that we're getting at the moment.
It's great. Finally getting some decent summer. I mean, it'd probably be running from the dockyard, those pipes.
Yeah. Looks like it goes probably straight over to the Navy munitions dump.
Yeah. But I mean, it would have been like, I don't think they would have refueled ships here. It would have been too much of a hassle. Because if you consider the fact that, like, if you're trying to refuel huge ships, and they're all like trying to get in, like huge ones, and it's low tide, it's not really like worth it. So
but
perfect.
You photographed a huge pipeline which was running down to this beach further along.
Yeah.
Earlier on, which is the first thing we saw when we came in. Get some shots of that on the way out.
Yeah, it's definitely fuel. Can't think of what else it would be.
No.
It's like when you look, you got like support beams there, but then here you've got like what looked like the piping would have gone through.
Yeah. And it obviously ran up the hill.
Yeah.
To where we first started.
It just looks a bit weird. I don't know whether it was a building or not. But then again, you got to think: was it high tide? Did the tide go this far up back in like the 1945s?
Yeah.
1945 and stuff. It might have come half of this. That's why it's like the building right on the edge.
Yeah. It's difficult to know without researching it.
But in World War II, they used, obviously because Plymouth was prone to attack, they heavily fortified like most of it, but they used the same sort of like fortifications that were being used in like, I think it would have been like the 1500s, 1300s, something like that, like Spanish Armada time. So,
a bit like the Citadel at the front.
Yeah.
Which was built way before the Second World War.
But when all of this was designed, it was designed to channel them. So if the only way they could possibly have gotten in would be to pass Drake's Island and come up.
Yeah.
But obviously low tide, they wouldn't stand a chance. They'd have to come up high tide. This is why it's fortified on both angles, both fronts. So whatever way they would turn in to go in, they would be hit. They would be bombarded both sides.
Yeah.
So, and then you've obviously got Drake's Island, would have been the main lookout point. But as obviously time's progressed, and in World War II, they've like gone out further and used like bigger guns, but they've still used, like, Plymouth is perfect. Like the way that Plymouth is faced is perfect for like fortifying it. So
yeah, one side of Drake's Island they put fortification in as well, because they on most of the tide you can't get through. There's only certain areas that you can get through.
Yeah, they've put in World War II they put submarine traps. Yeah. Which basically like giant teeth sticking out of the water.
Side. Yeah.
And then on the side that's facing out to sea, that's what they've heavily fortified. Behind it,
and that's where you got the breakwater which goes across as well.
Yeah. But yeah, that. Yeah. Definitely see the council of minute there. There's metal steel things up on the windows. It's like MOD fencing as well.
Yeah.
You can tell by the way that's built. Lovely though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's intriguing. Makes you think.
Built to last.
Yeah, it definitely was. Concrete. Reinforced.
I mean, when you...
asbestos on it.
I think so.
There's asbestos in everything over here, actually.
But that, it's like, why would they put asbestos? Is that like heating? Because if so, then that could be used as to heat the fuel up, I suppose.
Yeah. It's hard to know, because I mean, down in this area of the country, you don't need a lot of heating on on oil pipes because you don't get a lot of frost.
Shielding. Stop,
Well, I think they were naive to the dangers of asbestos in those days, so they used to use it for everything. I mean, that's definitely asbestos covering in there, isn't it?
I just touched it. I'm not going to die, am I?
No, it's only if you breathe in the dust you have problems. That's when you're cutting it. My mother had a garage built of asbestos.
Oh, lush. That running down under, and you've also got two pipes that are going out.
Yeah.
So I can only presume that these are the pipes that will connect to a ship up closer, and these pipes would be dropping fuel over to the base.
Yeah.
Because it'd be stupid to have your own fuel depot right at a Navy base if it's prone to being bombed, because then obviously like that place is going to go up like a firecracker.
I think that's what it is. It's emergency overload of fuel dumping.
Yeah.
For the Second World War.
You probably had like more dotted around at some point.
Yeah. It's interesting though.
Oh yeah. Had the right idea though.
You look this way again, Ben.
Yeah.
And drop your arm down to where it was a minute ago. So it's weather like this that makes Plymouth all worthwhile, doesn't it?
It does indeed. I've missed this weather. Finally can get out, enjoy the sun. Lightens the mood as well, makes you feel a bit happier in the mornings.
Makes everybody feel happy in Plymouth.
Yeah. It's nice. Feels good to sort of get a bit of rays and a bit of sunshine.
Right, let's go for a walk in Edgcumbe.
Yeah.
You say you're tired and you've only got 100 halfway up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably had tiny feet. They're all heavy smokers as well.
So look, my foot doesn't even fit on one step.
Yeah.
Look.
It's a bit like the steps in Plymouth. They're twice the size of your feet, so you can't get any coordination going up them.
Yeah. You can tell the council haven't been here because they would have closed this place down a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they haven't demolished it yet. It's handy for photo shoots.
Yeah, exactly.
So from derelict buildings to Edgcumbe Park.
Yeah.
Manicured and well-maintained gardens and sculptures. I don't know who's made this sculpture.
God knows. It's good though.
It is. It's going to say on the bottom of it anyway. It's done by Kevin Deary, commissioned by the Friends of Mount Edgcumbe to mark the Golden Jubilee of Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth. Can you go and put your head round the back?
Yeah.
That'll be a picture by the famous Ben James photographer. You have to get your head further in than that, Ben. If you can, I don't know. If not.
I can't, I got my hillbilly stick in the way.
Oh right, that's not good enough.
What's up?
So you've just been shooting macro, Ben?
Yeah. I usually put a macro lens on as well, but that means having to fish it out of my bag.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered. So it would do.
Hot and sticky day, isn't it?
Oh, very hot.
Nice one. It looks gorgeous with the light
Yeah.
reflecting off the top of the flower.
Thanks. I'm all done.
Good. This is interesting as well.
Yeah.
Hey, plasma. This is the Edgcumbe Animal Graveyard, Ben.
Pardon?
This is the Edgcumbe Animal Graveyard.
Animal graveyard?
Yeah, where they used to bury all their animals.
Oh, lush.
Oh, they probably had them for lunch as well. So you're shooting black and white at the moment because it's retro,
Yeah. I like the old,
the effects.
yeah, it's really nice. That's nice. The only thing we're using a manual flash on a digital camera is got to really work for it.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Sorted!
Nice one. Let's just go down to the waterfront and then head back for the ferry then.
Yeah. I've lost where the building is.
The folly at the top on the hill.
Yeah, I missed it last time. I'm all good.
Well, it's been a good day for taking pictures anyway.
Yeah, yeah, it's been beautiful. It's been pretty clear. I mean, it could be clearer right now, but
Yeah.
I've seen it clearer. But it's pretty good.
When you get a lot of heat, you tend to get haze after a while, and you need rain to clear the air again.
Yeah.
Wandering around taking pictures. It's been really interesting looking at the derelict buildings and the gardens in Edgcumbe, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, how
I had one thing that
learned something, seen something new. Going to like Google that place and see like exactly what it was used for.
So how many pictures do you think you've taken today?
Oh, God knows. Lots.
Put them onto Facebook.
Yeah, definitely. I'll make an album
some
out
of
of
it
stuff.
is, a lot of it hasn't been converted.